What is going on, everybody? And in this video I will be covering the Rally Raid class, guys. Now, the best vehicle you guys want to have, whether that's for racing, summits, whatever that may be, this is the best overall vehicle in each class I'm doing here, guys. So Rally Raid, what is the best vehicle you guys want to have? Well, honestly, there's a lot of good vehicles in the Rally Raid class. Personally, I am actually using the Ram 1500 Rebel here for all the skills in the summits with the score breaker set. Just doing a really good job there. Also, the SVT Raptor is actually insanely good for some races too, so do keep an eye on this truck as well. I actually run this thing a little bit here and there on some races. It does a great job. The bikes I don't really use too much, and then obviously, like I said, I'm not doing any of the summit vehicles here because I don't really feel like those are too fair. The other Ram is also really good. This one just has some extra aesthetics on it, really, nothing crazy. The Jeep's alright, but I do feel like the Jeep's kind of weird with jumps and all that, and the thing struggles a little bit with heavy bumps like the other cars do really well with. I don't use the Hyper Motard too much. The Nomad, I don't use that often. And then I also don't use the Camaro that much either because mainly I don't really see use of these cars. A lot of people do use the Porsche 959 Raid, which honestly might be a really good car. This is considered one of the fastest Rally Raid vehicles in the game because of its top speed and all that, so this car is definitely on top as well. You'll notice a lot of people do run that vehicle in a lot of races and stuff like that, probably because it is really good. The Monster 1200S is one of those vehicles that you're going to be using a lot on the skills and the summits. I know a lot of people put the score breaker sets on this and use it. I don't use the KX450 or the 450 Rally, not honestly. I don't really touch those at all. And then I also do not use the Rough 3400K, but I did use this vehicle a lot on the Crew 1. That car was really fun to use on there. And then I never use the Jeep Wrangler. The only time you really only use these vehicles, honestly, is when you have to in summits, like you have to use them. Then you kind of don't really have a choice there. The Land Rover Defender, the new vehicle that was added recently, is actually pretty fast, pretty fun to use as well. That truck actually has some really good handling, kind of surprising there. Not too bad, good vehicle to buy if you're into that. The Challenger's alright, comes with the Nissan and the other vehicles here. Honestly, guys, like I said, I don't use any of these. I feel like they're not that good. The only time I think you're ever going to really run these is if you have to in summits. Besides that, I don't think they're really on par with some of the other really good raid vehicles in this game. And you're pretty much going to have them just cuz or collection vehicles there. So guys, after going through all the vehicles like that, I did do that with the Hyperclass as well, just to talk about each vehicle and what I think about them all. So obviously I was hovering over the Peugeot 3008 DKR Maxi. Honestly, this is probably one of the best rally raid vehicles in the game. The reason why I picked this one is it's not only really fast, it handles jumps and bumps really well, which I'm actually going to do the desert race with it and talk about a little bit in there. It's quick and it seems to do the best in a lot of races compared to other vehicles. The only other vehicle I really enjoy using besides this is the Ram. If you guys have noticed, a lot of YouTubers have been running the Hummer HX. This is the one from the Summit, but they're using the regular one, which you get from doing the challenges. Obviously, that's going to take some time to grind and do all that. I'm pretty close, but I don't have it. I do have the Enforcer Unit one from that one Summit a while back. But overall, guys, if you're looking for an overall good rally raid vehicle you can build up with some good parts, I am running the Chemist set on here with a mix of ventilated and extra pump. So I get some nitrous from jumping, and also when I'm not using the nitrous on those long runs on roads and dirt, wherever you may be on for that matter. I'll also be showing my settings for this vehicle at the end if you're interested in trying it out. I know this vehicle isn't that expensive either, so you can get this thing fairly quickly and use it. I actually use this thing in a lot of summits and a lot of races. This was actually one of the vehicles I used to farm my parts. So let's jump right into the race right now, and I'll talk about this thing a little more. So guys, jumping right into the Great Sand Dune race here with the Peugeot. Now, I want to point out, guys, multiple reasons why I like this vehicle. I'm sure people will be like, well, isn't the Porsche 959 faster? You know, isn't some other car stability might be better? This may be true, but I feel like this car is just on top, guys, for pretty much everything, honestly. If you don't believe me, I recommend trying this thing out. This thing is pretty cheap, and literally anybody can buy it in the off-road HQ there, so I recommend giving it a shot if you haven't. A lot of the summits, you notice a lot of people will be driving this car in the summits as well. Like I said, the Hummer HX has been showing up a lot lately, but not everybody has that, because that car does require some grinding there to get. And I'm pretty close, but I do not have it yet, and, well, doing some of the missions on that does take some time to do. So why not get this thing in the meantime, and you can compete in summits with it and everything. It can pretty much do everything with ease, with no issues at all, which is pretty awesome. Hitting the jumps, guys, is a big important, and being able to have stability when doing so is honestly kind of important too. I mean, all the speed can matter, but if you still can't get over the jumps and all that, like some of the rally raid courses can be kind of rough sometimes with how they are. Like this one, for example, like you literally need a car with good suspension. Like the Jeep Moab on this would probably struggle really hard. Is why I heavily recommend these vehicles to be using on this that actually can hit jumps and have stability and be able to race really well and all that. And you'll also notice why I'm running ventilated on this thing, because the nitrous goes up like insanely quick, and that's not even full ventilated parts. So you guys are wondering, having ventilated and extra pump on these vehicles are insanely good for all of them, whatever vehicle you may be using there. But like I said, guys, like with the hypercar class, these classes be kind of hard to pick the best vehicle because I feel like a lot of the vehicles can do great jobs. But I do feel like some vehicles are better than others, and they do come about on top a lot better, honestly. Like, for example, this car, you guys would notice, pretty much an OG car from when the game released, no DLC or anything like that, or updates, no summit vehicles. This car was doing very well, and still is. I mean, I still use this thing on summits for no restriction races. I don't use any other rally raid vehicle, honestly. I don't use the Ram. I only use the Ram for when it comes to, like, skills and stuff like that. I mean, this car is just on top, guys. I wanted to point this out because I feel like a lot of people are trying to figure out the best vehicles they can go to in each class for summits and stuff like that, or just in general racing. And if you're looking for a rally raid vehicle that's cheap and really fun to use, I highly recommend this thing. You'll notice right here with Nitro Chemist, I was doing almost 180 there, which is basically the top speed on this car. I highly recommend giving this thing a shot, guys. I'm going to show my settings on it right now if you guys want to try it out, because this thing is awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching, and definitely give this thing a try because, well, having a great go-to vehicle in this game is very important. Here are the settings I recommend you guys to try on the Peugeot 3008 DKR Maxi.